I was doing certain things. Okay, so basically I grew up like this. If I made good grades in school, my mother would reward me with a toy, not a toy, I didn't like toys, but a video game. I was really into video games back then. And so like, I guess in a way like, cause I was really smart as a child, I will say. I got a little dumb over the years, but when I was a child, I was really smart. And I really didn't really care too much for school. I just so happened to be good at it. But I knew like, if I just got these grades, I would get what I want. And I feel like as I got older, like I started to realize I'm only doing these things for her. And I'm just like, what about me? You know what I mean? And so it's just like, for a long time, I didn't know who I was or what I wanted to do with my life because I only cared about her opinion and her opinion alone. And, one day we just started to fade apart. Like as I got older, I started dyeing my hair, I just started getting other things, and I was just becoming me. We kind of like separated because my mother would say a lot of negative things to me. I love my mother, I just want to put that out there. Like my mother is great and we're in a good place now. But, she would just say bad things about me. And I don't think she meant any harm by it, but I mean, but no, she would just say really bad things about me, and I just kind of built resentment towards her, and we went from being like this to, we just stopped being close. And, I kind of like just didn't feel the most loved all the time. And so I looked for it in other people. And this is where my relationships, come into play. So do I really want to go into it, or do I want to just say general stuff? Okay, so my first heartbreak was ninth grade. And I was so desperate to find somebody that loved me. That I gave a lot away to people who didn't deserve it. Like I gave a lot of love away really fast. And I remember like it was yesterday. I was in a relationship for a day, and then we broke up that same day, and that was like one of my worst heartbreaks. I know it sounds crazy, but like it really like had a really bad effect on me. And I didn't get over it until my senior year of high school. I just kept getting involved and just giving away to too many people with all my other relationships. And I just got hurt. I got really hurt. I got cheated on. I got played with. I got manipulated. I got all this. And I feel like I kind of like picked up those people's bad habits and gave it to other people who didn't deserve it. I mean, I still got did dirty later on in life, but like college. But like, I would be so quick to blame people and just say what they did wrong and what they did dirty. But the reality is like, I was just doing the same thing. Like I played the game. I've cheated. I've hurt people. I did all that too. And I hate that I did it. Like I regret it. And I used to beat myself up about it a long time ago. But like the reality is I'm human, and at the end of the day, I just wanted love and I just wanted companionship. And to sum it all up, like I just got involved with a lot of people that I shouldn't have gotten involved with. I did a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have done, but I don't regret it because it happened and it formed me into the person I am today. You get what I mean? And so I would just constantly talk to people, stop talking to them to work on myself, and then I'll just get with somebody else and I'll try to just, I put the things that I needed to work on and the childhood trauma that I had on the back burner, and I was just so focused on getting in a relationship and just hoping that if I just had like a really good relationship, I wouldn't have to worry about that. I'll be happy, And I just feel like the reality is no one can give you that love but you. At the end of the day, no one can fulfill you but you and, God or, whatever you believe in. You just gotta do some soul searching, like trying to find somebody else to make you feel whole is just gonna end up in destruction. Like, yeah, they can make you happy, but at the end of the day, like, what will happen if they leave? How are you gonna feel when they leave? Like, you have to be able to sleep with yourself at night. You need to be able to wake up, be happy, be just as joyful as you were with your significant other or without. Like, at the end of the day, like, they don't create your happiness. You have to be the source of your happiness. I hurt a lot of people in the process, and the thing is, like, even though, like, I loved hard, and everyone that I've ever gotten involved with, romantically, I still love to this day, Um, it's just like, I did some shitty stuff in my life. You know, I always tell people nothing but the best, but I moved on from it. I've forgiven myself. I've, apologized to those people. But the reality is I was hurt, and I'm not making an excuse for it at all. Like, I did some messed up stuff, but I've come to terms with it. Like, I can't keep living in the past. I'm not the same person that I was. You know what I mean? I've moved forward, and I'm in a really good place. And basically, like, that just goes into me just realizing that I didn't know myself. Basically, like, I was so worried about giving my love to everybody else and like hoping that would make me happy that I didn't know what I actually wanted. You know what I mean? I thought I wanted this because I did want love. At the end of the day, like, I could get that. I just have to give it to myself. And it just took me a long time to, figure this all out, because the reality is I didn't love who I was. I still struggle with certain things, I still struggle. And that's all I want to say. It's normal. It's normal. It's okay to have bad days. Like, every day isn't going to be a good day. So, when you accept that, I feel like you'll be at least at peace. And during this time, like, I just learned, when I said, like, I didn't love myself, like, I love myself. I had some days were better than others, but I don't know, like, for instance, like, I just had a lot of insecurities. Like, I used to have really bad skin. I never felt cute until recently. Like, I had really bad acne. I know my skin doesn't look, horrible right now. I have a little thing right here, but I have my days. But it used to be like really, really bad, or at least worse, And so, like, I don't know, it just made me really insecure. I think that was like my biggest insecurity. Or like my teeth. Like, my teeth aren't the straightest. Like, they're like overcrowded at the bottom. But other than that, that's really it. But like, I still struggle. Like, I still, make comparisons, to other people. I've gotten jealous, at times. There's been times where I got jealous, but I would never like spew out hate at anyone. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's something that I'll keep to myself, because at the end of the day, like, I know I'm only feeling like that because of my insecurity. You know what I mean? Like, other people are successful and they're doing what they do, but at the end of the day, like, I'm me. You know what I mean? And millions of people may do the same thing that I do and might be interested in the same things that I'm interested in, but at the end of the day, this is mine. You know what I mean? Like, and nobody else can take that away from me. And I feel like once you learn that you are uniquely you, and is uniquely a word? You are unique, and you are your own person. And I feel like that's when you'll be the most powerful. Like, when you learn, like, no one else is like you. Nobody else has the same vibe as you. Nobody else, does what you do. At the end of the day, like, you just have to be holding yourself, and it's normal to make comparisons. It's normal to make comparisons. I don't care what nobody say. Like, especially what we live in, the generation that we live in, all that we see on Instagram. Like, I get discouraged a lot, but I just feel like you just also gotta like know your limit. You gotta know like how much to have. Like, you gotta know when to take a break from social media and certain things, and you gotta know, when it's time to come back. You also gotta know like your triggers. You also gotta know like. It's just, it's a lot. It's a process. I know it probably like sounds easy, but it's not easy at all. Like, it took me about to be 21 years. I'll be 21 in December. So it took me a long time to, come to this realization. Like, I know it's easy for me to say things and just, to say it, but it took time. Like, it just takes years. And I feel like everybody's time is different. Like, don't be in a rush to get to that place. Don't get to, I feel like it takes time. It's unrealistic to just wake up and be like, oh yeah, like, I love myself, like, today, like, this is just a great, great day. Like, you could say that, but I feel like there's ways to do it, like saying like positive affirmations, I don't know, working out, like finding a hobby, finding something, just doing things that you love to do. Like, I feel like that made me feel really good. What I've been doing lately, with fashion or whatever, it's made me feel good because I'm doing something that I actually like to do. Like, I just got a sewing machine. Like, I'm gonna learn how to sew and like, potentially make my own clothes, and that could turn into something bigger in itself, Just doing things like that really helped me. It like makes sense, like what I want to do and like what I'm meant to do. Like, I feel happy, doing what I do. You get what I mean? And I just feel like no one can take that away from me. I just feel like it just takes work. And I think a lot of people don't like to do that. Like, I'm like one of the laziest people ever. But, with me doing what I want to do and like doing things that I'm actually interested in, like, I'm learning, like, I'm really hardworking when it's something that I actually care about. So yeah, like you just sometimes you have to travel. Like I literally, if you keep up with me, like you know I've literally traveled back and forth from New Jersey and Mississippi in like the last 2 years. Like I probably moved back and forth at least 8 or 7 times. Like, cause I was just trying to figure myself out. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was kind of like running. Like I came to college, my freshman year, and I was considered a sophomore the spring of last year, but like I took a break because I just needed time off. Like especially I had got out of a bad relationship, and it was just like it was just a lot. And it's okay to take a break from college. You know what I mean? Because had I not taken that break and like moved back and forth, I would not be where I am today. Like I feel like I needed to learn. I needed to be forced to like look at myself and be like, hey, like you can't keep running. Like regardless, like these problems gonna be here until you deal with them. And it sucks. You know, it really does suck, but you have to want it. You have to want to be happy. You have to want to like put in the work, and it's hard. Like you're gonna have to deal with some things that you've been putting out for years. You know, maybe like childhood traumas. Like you just gotta deal with stuff. And I'm not a therapist at all. Like I've learned this stuff. I've learned more about myself through other people as well. Like good people. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that with other people. Like you can't let anybody tell you like you're wrong, you're doing this, like you're crazy, like stuff like that. Like you gotta know when to let people go too. It's a lot. It is a lot to it. That's why I'm probably like rambling, but you you just gotta know when to cut people out and when to let people in, and you just gotta know what's for you and what's not for you, basically. And I know it was like hard. Like I know this year has been hard. Like during quarantine, like it's easy to get discouraged. But I actually found inspiration during this time. You know, like I've been more social. I've been more on social media and like actually like doing stuff that I enjoy doing. Like I do YouTube, like because through quarantine, like I feel like quarantine forced me to, figure shit out. And, that's what I've been doing. Like I'm grateful for it. Like I've grown a lot, from where I used to be. Like I'm happier than I used to be. Like I'm confident in myself. Like I got my bare skin out right now and it's not the best, but I probably normally would have put some concealer or something on that, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, this is me. I'm happy with me. Like, and it took me a long time to say that. Like, I'm great. I'm a great person. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I want the best for everybody. I want everybody to win. I want to be happy. I am happy, but I'm not where I want to be, and I feel like it's good to acknowledge that. Like, as long as you like are taking time every day to be the best version of you that you can be, or like just be a good person every day, you'll be fine. Like just worry about today. Don't worry about what the future holds or like what's to come. Like as long as you're just putting good energy out every day and just focusing on that day and just being present, like good things will come to you.